What better way to honor and to celebrate and to bring into action the Rebbe's vision, which of course is the vision of all the Rabbeim, all the 7 Rabbeim, and the vision of all Rebbes and all leaders from the beginning of time, Moshe Rabbeinu, all the way going from the beginning of history itself, the vision of manifesting and actualizing and making practical, applying Torah in general, and Chassidus in particular, which is Primius HaTorah, in the words of Mashiach to the Baal Shem Tov, Yefutzu Meinesecha Chutza, taking the well springs and bringing them Chutza. Chutza means in space, in time, but also in spirit. The idea of bringing it into a language and into a paradigm and a platforms that everybody can access it. Because when we speak about the future, the Geula, and the near future, we should say, the immediate future, how is it described by Isaiah, Yeshaya the prophet? Mola ha'aretz de'eh es Hashem k'mayim layam mechasim. There will be no more lo yarei v'lo yashchisu. There will be no more evil and no more destruction, because the entire world will be filled with divine knowledge as the waters cover the sea. Divine knowledge. That means the entire earth, every human being, in the words of the Rambam Maimonides at the end of his Sefer Mishneh Torah, lo yi'eser kol ha'elam el l'dases Hashem b'lvad. The business of the world will be nothing but to know God. That doesn't mean everyone will be theologians. It will mean that in everything we do, it will be clear it's a means for divine expression, for spiritual expression. So whatever you see in the world, whether it comes down to a minuscule little plant, or for the birds in the sky, or whatever it is, we will see the hand inside the glove, which today is concealed. So how do we prepare for that? By living our lives that way, by studying and aligning ourselves with such a vision. Recognizing that your body is a vehicle for your soul. So just as the entire universe will be seen, the hand inside the glove, we will see the hand within our glove, within our body, within our garment. We will see the soul shining through. And essentially, energy and matter will be fused as one. So what better way to prepare for that, among many different ways, and I'm sure there are many ways, and people all over the world are preparing, is to actually write an essay or produce a creative, artistic way of expressing Hasidic thought. Chassidus is this Mola Ha'aretz De'eh Hashem. It's understanding its godliness. It's about godliness. It's about how God created the universe, and expressing it in a way that we apply an idea of Chassidus to a contemporary life challenge or issue is, of course, the essence of the essay contest. But now that we've expanded it, we have other ways to express it. It can also express it through photography, through visual arts, through music, through poetry, through a video presentation. And if you go to chassidusapplied.com/contest, you'll see all the guidelines and all the rules. But I want to take it even further. A practical suggestion to parents and educators in particular. But this is really not limited to them. It's to all of us. I've received much feedback now and over the years of how much people who were involved in this contest, how affected their lives, even to the point of, and not being over dramatic, transforming people's lives. I am a different person, individuals told me. A mother, a father told me that when we were involved with our children in doing this, it literally transformed our homes. So here's my suggestion. It's a suggestion. Yes, it is a way of disseminating and publicizing the contest, but I think it's a great suggestion. And I'll soon tell you my reasons behind it after I explain the suggestion. And that is, simply, whether you're a parent of children, and obviously you have to know which age children, but children that are capable of doing this, why don't you challenge them and incentivize them, besides the $10,000 prize or the $1,000 artistic prize? Incentivize them. Say, what are you dealing with? Let's deal with a challenge. One child may say, there's bullying going on in my classroom. Others may say, I'm bored. There's all kinds of different things people and children go through, and teenagers especially. Identify something and say, you know what? Why don't we work on together, since we're taught that Torah is Melashon Hira, Torah offers us a directive in life. It's a blueprint for life. And since we're also looking Chassidus as an answer to all our issues, I will help you. Let's find some sources, a Sikha from the Rebbe, from the Frierdiker Rebbe, a Maimer, a Nigun, a song, something that addresses this issue. Tell me what you think will take place. The child, and the same thing I say to educators and the students. You have a class, you're teaching them a class. What will happen? They'll be excited because it's something that's touching them. You're participating with them, helping them with sources, reviewing, but you want them to do it. You want them to initiate, but you're part of it. It will create an exciting few weeks as you're immersed and involved with it. And this I say not as a guess or speculation, conjecture, because I've heard that. Be talking about it by the table. Other siblings will weigh in. Oh, what better way? What did the Rebbe give us this for? Is to make it real, to address real issues in our lives, apply it to our personal lives. This is the best way to do it, and guaranteed will have lasting impact. In addition to giving such nachas and pride to the Rebbe. Now, if you do something around Basi Legani, the Maimer itself, and derive lessons from that, Mateva Manoim, even better. Perhaps we'll even add extra credit points for that. But it doesn't have to be exclusively to that Maimer. But that Maimer, of course, is the Maimer that the Rebbe said, Frierdiker Rebbe, last Maimer that was published by the Frierdiker Rebbe, and the Rebbe began that Maimer, Basi Legani Tovshin Yud Aleph, and then every year afterwards would explain one of the 20 chapters, and then went through a second cycle and a third cycle. So this is a practical suggestion. As I said, teachers and students as well. You're teaching a class anyway, a class in Torah and Chassidus. Make an assignment. The prize will come from us. You don't have to spend any money. It'll be a $10,000 first prize, $3,600 second prize, a $1,000 third prize, and a special student prize that only a student will win. They can also win the top prize. Or if somebody wants to do it through artistic expression, so we now have allowed that as well. I find this to be an easy, yes, it takes work, but it's enjoyable work, a labor of love, a way of honoring and actually implementing what the Rebbe told us to do. To make Elokus, godliness, real in our lives. To make Chassidus real in our lives. Or in the words of the Rebbe, Lahamshich hashchina lamata mamash. To draw down godliness in this world. Take an issue of this world and address it with a godly approach, which is what Chassidus teaches. This is the essence of the contest. Now, let me add this. I mentioned this in the past. When I first thought of the idea, which was just, Hashgacha Pratis, it was a year after we were doing My Life, the program, the weekly program. And my office said, so how do we honor the first anniversary? It was much more successful than we expected. More questions came in. The listenership was growing and continues to grow. It was quite very touching to see, and it was very powerful. So something came to me. I said, the essay contest idea. I don't even remember what sparked it, but you know how ideas, they fly from anywhere. Okay, we passed it around, and not everybody was so excited. What did I do? I decided, you know what, let me write up the purpose of the contest, what its objectives are, and its benefits. And I sent it to one of our powerful sponsors, one of our contributors, donors. And I spelled out how much we would need. We would need for the prizes, for some administration, other work. There was no income from it. And not to my surprise, but very quickly, excellent idea, I'm committing to it. And that is the Meromim Foundation and my dear friend, Rabbi Yitzchak Mirashvili from Herzliya in Israel, and continue to commit it. It's only grown, so we need even more money than we're getting. So if anybody's interested in contributing to this, it's a great cause. All you got to do is contact me directly if you wish, or you can go online to mychassidussupply.com and donate. But that's an aside. Let me get back to the topic. Okay, so we launched the contest. Within a week or two, I get an email from a friend. He says, look at this letter from the Rebbe. Volume 10, in Igrus Kodesh, page 238, 239. It's a letter dated Yud Ches Tevis, the 18th of Tevis, Tafshin Tezvov. That was the equivalent of 1955. A letter many years ago. Something immediately struck me, and I said to myself, where do I know that date from? I write an email to my office and I say, can you tell me, send me the email that I first sent to everybody? What day was it? Would you believe? It was Yud Ches Tevis Tovshin Ayin Hei. 50 years to the day when the Rebbe wrote that letter, where he says these words, that we know that to really get students involved, it's a letter to a woman educator. We know that to get students really involved is that they should make presentations. not just be taught, but they should initiate a presentation. Then the Rebbe continues, since Yud Shvat is coming, that's what he says. He suggests that the students should write an essay in honor of Yud Shvat, describing my father-in-law, the Frierdiker Rebbe's work and his contributions. I couldn't believe it. I called up the principals of the women's school here in New York. I said, does anyone know about this letter? It's a printed letter. Anyone ever did anything like this? No. So I said to myself, Mamash, a directive of the Rebbe. That takes a whole different dimension. It was a good suggestion, and we all thought it was a good suggestion, and it did work out. So if you need a direct hira, the covered Yud Shvat. And that was Tafshin Tezvov. Now we're in Tafshin Pei. That was 5 years after Tafshin Yud. Now we're 70 years after. So you have that additional reason, and perhaps the main reason, to actually do this. I'm not suggesting it's going to be absolutely easy, but it's a work that will only give you more dividends than what you'll invest in it. And I say this to everyone that's listening to this, and please share it with others. I think it's a tremendous opportunity, and we're excited to be part of it, but it can't happen without you. And especially for educators and parents, to me it's a no-brainer. Who doesn't want their children to be excited, their students to be excited about Chassidus, about the Rebbe, about the mission? And you can write about that too, the mission itself, the Deir HaShvi, what better topic? But personalize it. Make it real, not just a theory, an idea, an analysis. Apply it. And use all your creative juices and all your creative skills. As I said again, go to chassidusapply.com/contest for all the details, all the rules and guidelines. As always, follow them. After you finish whatever you're doing, just go through the guidelines, make sure, check it off like a checklist. I did this, and this. Show it to another person, and I guarantee it'll heighten your chances of actually winning. But as I always say, everybody's a winner. The mere fact that you do this will be something that will last the rest of your life. Ask people who've done it. Ask past year's winners. And that's how I feel is one of the great ways to, especially this year, the Shivim Shana, 70th year of the Rebbe's Nesius leadership, to contribute, not just contribute, but to shine and to really bring Chassidus alive in our personal lives, which is, of course, the entire objective of this program.